All right, we are live. Got some super ghouls and ghosts for you all. Feel free to take it away.
Okay, yeah, as you said, I'm going to be playing Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I'm going to be playing this on professional difficulty. I have the world record in this difficulty right now, just a little bit over 36 minutes. I'm pretty sure I can get a 35 eventually. I might even get a world record in this run. You never know. So the controls here, like by default, it's like I believe AYB, like shoot AY and B is for jump, but I change it to BYA because B and Y are right next to each other, so I can like just kind of roll my thumb over them and press. So gonna do the countdown. I'm gonna start on this menu for the countdown so the credit scene doesn't interfere. So we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, excellent. And then my name's Aquas. I'll be commenting for Sam for this Super Ghouls and Ghosts professional run. And Sam's going to probably want to focus a little bit on this first stage. It's a pretty important stage here because the zombies that are spawning are fairly random, and there's some other, just a lot of RNG in this first stage that can screw things up. And there was an initial gambit with the weapons. With what weapon you can get in the first chest. Sam did want the dagger, and he's gotten it. So that's very excellent. Otherwise, you either get the torch or the bow and arrow.
The torch is okay. The bow and arrow I don't want because that's some like automatic time loss. I'll have plenty of time to hopefully grind a dagger in level 2. Although it's not guaranteed, so the dagger is always appreciated here.
And yeah, we just kind of flew by the falling skulls there. That's the first instance of the professional difficulty. One of the main changes of that. The professional is also going to be basically throwing you into a later loop difficulty of the game, in which the enemies do spawn a bit more aggressively. But overall, it's going to be a fairly similar game, but the changes with like the skulls and some other stage hazards are definitely a big trip up for new players, because one of the big things Sam's going to be trying to avoid in this run is dying. It's going to be one of the biggest time losses, as well as being hit at all, because he'll lose his armor status. And while the upgraded daggers are significantly stronger than the regular daggers, you also see gold magic being very good here.
So getting hit there doesn't matter very much because I'm just going to do a damage boost on this level anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Then yeah, Sam's like underneath like the bird's chin there. That's just how the hitboxes are on that boss. It looks really dangerous, but you can just go under there and rapid fire the daggers for hopefully a clean kill.
And even though I got hit because I tried to aggressively jump into it. So if you just stand there, it should be fine.
It's kind of a tricky series of inputs to get it just right. Alright, so yeah, on to stage 2. Takes a damage boost off of the Mimic chest there. That saves some time just getting up the ladder there, probably about 3 seconds there. And then also, this is going to be setting up a chest manipulation later on in the stage, where he's going to be able to get back up to gold armor via manipulating the chest order, because everything in all the chest contents in this game, whether they're a weapon, a magician, or a trap, it's going to be based off of an order and the order in which you reveal the chest, and if you I think it's also determined when you break them. But yeah, there's actually a rhyme and reason to it. It's not just random.
Yeah,
contrary to some popular belief.
It's the order you reveal the chest and the armor you have when you break them.
Oh yeah, armor status, yeah.
So you can route this game pretty reliably using that.
Yeah, indeed. And so like a lot of the runners will just try to memorize some of the specific like recovery orders for getting their armor back, and also like certain places where it's like, you know, you really want to recover that back, and get to know like some of the chest locations and that type of thing. And it can be pretty nice. It can actually be pretty nice to get your armor back, and you can actually recover pretty nicely in a lot of situations. But still, certain spots are just going to be pretty punishing for time. So yeah, this is the token G&G series auto scroller. Stage lasts like about this whole raft section lasts almost a little bit more than 4 minutes. Death here is really annoying. Shouldn't happen. All the spawns that Sam's killing are just set. They're all predetermined. So you're just kind of going through the motions here. There's a couple tricky jumps. You can make it a little bit trickier on yourself if you are really pressing the right side of the screen. Some people will press the right side. There's also the meta of the speedrun here is slowdown reduction. As you know, the game can lag a lot. Saw a lot of lag in the first stage of the game. It was one of the first games released on the SNES, so they didn't quite optimize all the slowdown there. And yeah, so Sam does the speed, essentially what he was setting up, a speed strat here, where he reveals the chest on the right first, and then reveals the one behind him, and since he changes his armor by grabbing the chest behind him, the chest to the right is then the gold armor. It's a little cheeky chest manipulation there, and he does it successfully. The jump to the left he did to reveal that left chest is kind of tricky.
Oh, that was dangerous. So one of the things about this level, the dangerous part wasn't necessarily that I got hit by that fish, but if that fish was carrying a weapon in its pot, I would have gotten a bad weapon. So one of the things you have to watch out for here is these fish with pots. They can drop surprise weapons, and you don't want to pick those up.
Yeah, indeed. That can put a hamper on your whole run, and possibly just make you reset if you're doing PB attempts. Because getting the dagger back can be kind of hit or miss after this point. And you can potentially farm, the weapons on this section as well if you don't have the dagger here. But if you don't have the dagger, by this point, you're probably losing some time. And Sam setting up the dagger magic here. Unleashing the dragon right when the boss becomes vulnerable. Hitting with some daggers. Charging again. Yeah, due to the fact you have you have 2 attack buttons, you're able to charge your magic and attack there. That's the trick to getting that quick kill. Is getting the attacks in while you're holding the other attack button to charge your magic. It's really nice. Alright, so yeah, he's looking good. And coming through the flame volcano here. The imps that are flying around, they're very random. Probably one of the most random enemies, not only in this game but just in the whole series in general. They like to kind of jump at you, various timings and speeds, and it's like they're kind of being aggressive here, but Sam gets through. Very nice, very nice. Then you have like another little difference of professional difficulty with the flame bear, the woo. Their flame has an extra tuft of flame at the end. Yep.
Now we're coming up on the red armor. Casually, those enemies are very difficult. They dodge out of the way of your daggers and other weapons all the time. However, against the magic, they just don't even detect it. So you can just use any kind of magic on them uncontested. They won't do anything.
Yeah, it's really the way to go. Because those armors are really nasty to fight normally. The swoop is just so incredibly fast, and it can be really difficult to bait them, as you normally would. One of the best strats is probably just letting them fall to the ground and let them charge at you, and then you can kill them when they're charging, but otherwise you just kind of try to avoid them or just magic them. Yep, so onto this tower section here. These bats are kind of spawning in at random positions. Sam's going to want to try to be careful of not getting a weird angle approach from the bat that it makes it so he gets hit. Do some preemptive daggers, and then you have these little imp goblin guys. I guess they're goblins. The goblins falling from the top of the tower. Sam just preemptively killing all of them. But they're going to be a little bit harder to deal with in this next section. Yeah, the dagger is pretty nice here. Arthur kind of throws it from his head, so there's a lot of cases there where you can just kind of protect Arthur's head with the dagger when they're falling on you. And another dagger magic usage here.
Conversely, there's a trick you can use to like shoot him from roughly where his knees are, and I use that throughout the run. You kind of just crouch and you jump and shoot daggers at the same time. So it allows you to kill like wolves and stuff as you're jumping toward them.
Yeah, that crouching jump also has the benefit of canceling your attack animation, which can be useful for saving frames throughout the run. So as you're waiting for Arthur's arm to like kind of hold out while he's throwing the weapons and whatnot.
Like I did it there.
Yeah, it's useful here. Lowers where the dagger's coming from. It comes from like his chest instead of his head, like near his head. And then yeah, this like green fire pillar section. Sam just goes past that first one and kind of manipulating the spawns on these so that they don't get extra spawns when he's coming back left.
Yeah, so if you have too many sprites on the screen, it's not going to spawn certain enemies.
Yeah,
that's incredibly difficult to avoid.
Oh man, that was a really troll genie spawn there.
There's not much you can do about that one. Like the way you deal with that is you just hope. You just hope that doesn't happen. That can be about like a 10 to 15 minute time, 10 to 15 second time loss.
Yeah, so the result of that hit is he's not going to have the raw DPS for the boss of this stage, and he's also going to have to get his armor back in the next stage as well. So not a huge time loss. It's actually okay. You know, it's overall okay for that to happen.
And this boss is actually a little bit more dangerous now because he shoots. He shoots fireballs, and your maneuverability isn't that great. Like, you have, like, fixed width jumps, so once you commit to one, you, like, have to stick with it until you're done. It requires a lot of planning.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, getting used to the double jump mechanic is definitely, it's definitely, you know, you notice it when you first play the game. It's like, wow, I really have to be careful with those jumps. Castlevania style is pretty much the good comparison. Alright, so on to the Hydra here. Once again, it does shoot the fireballs randomly to the head.
That was an ideal Hydra for having these unupgraded daggers. You can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, all the heads kind of just gravitated towards Arthur's daggers. That was perfect. You have a ton of slowdown on that section because that boss is actually made up of like 30 different sprites or something like that. That part always slows down. Alright, so yeah, he reveals that first chest, the second chest, and steel armor is always your next armor upgrade, so now he's got the upgraded dagger back. And I'm not sure when you're gonna get the gold, but I'm sure you're gonna get it soon.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if you're gonna get it in the icicles or what.
Well, yeah, that flower got me.
Oh! Oh man, yeah, so this, more randomness here. When the flowers shoot out their projectiles, they have a lot of different patterns. Sam barely avoided the first one, jumping across the spikes, and then he just kind of went in there to get hit by the next one. It's really hard to read if they're going to be attacking or not at times. You really have to just get familiar with all the different patterns until it's comfortable. Yeah, so at this point, I'm guessing Sam's going to take a death at this next checkpoint to get his armor back, I'm guessing. We got another armor to deal with here. These icicles, this is a pretty particular section as well, because the icicles are also spawning in randomly. You notice random is a big factor of this game. Mentioning randomness a lot.
So one thing about those icicles is that their hitboxes aren't really active until like they're completely spawned. So you're gonna see me walking through them as they spawn, and like I'm not taking damage because their hitboxes aren't there.
Yeah, that's a cool little thing about the speedrun, I think. It's like once you know that, you can really start to clip through that section a bit more. And by clip, I mean like just go fast. Onto this little avalanche ascent section. The avalanche can carry Arthur if he gets caught up on the ground. And then typically they just bring you right into the spikes, and you take a hit. Sometimes you fall down. But it's all good. It's really easy to avoid them when you know they're coming. Now going for another quick kill with the dagger magic. Just the most powerful magic of the game. Once again, the movement of this boss is random. Closing in on Sam here in the corner. But pretty good kill. Nice, nice. That actually was pretty fast.
That was an
okay
time
loss. Yeah, so see, if you guys can see the splits, you can see the time loss from the hit there. Only 30 seconds off this PB, so I'd say you probably still got PB potential here.
Oh, I definitely have PB potential. Like, yesterday when I was practicing, I like saved a whole minute on loop 2.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, once again, dagger magic good here. You can really approach this bird methodically to always avoid it, depending on how it moves. You got the early bird movement, which calls for a double jump, because the double jump will actually slow you down enough to just get you through there. If he doesn't do the bird doesn't move early, then you just run through, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool. This is kind of a gotta have some pretty nice positioning here for this quick kill. Ooh, Astaroth trying to pinch Arthur in the corner there, no good. I think Sam's positioning was off a little bit, but he didn't get hit, which is the good thing here. Then all these imps here are actually coming in. They're actually on a spawn trigger for look like where Arthur is. They'll also spawn in at a certain spot, so you can actually move in a certain way to get rid of pretty much all of them. If you let them loose, though, they will eventually probably catch up to you.
I punked out on that armor kill. I used magic anyway.
That was good.
So I was beginning to use the strat where I wouldn't kill him with magic, but I don't know, I kind of panicked and used it anyway. Lost me about a couple seconds for just standing there while you're using your magic.
I mean, for a marathon type run like this, it's probably going to be a pretty good idea to take some safer strats, like killing the armors effectively and that kind of thing. Because, like I say, deaths and hits are big time losses, and you can really play a pretty safe game in this once you know all the strats. The game will still try to random you up, though. First we got Astaroth again, and then Nebiroth.
I think I'm gonna have to shoot it. Oh, no, never mind.
Nebiroth a little bit easier than Astaroth because the flame he shoots from the stomach. He can't move when he's doing that, and it's always a certain distance, so you can actually just attack him from a safe distance there. And then he'll use that forward ice like popsicle attack, kind of randomly. So, but you can listen to an audio cue on that one. But yeah, good first loop there.
So yeah,
I say.
So now the princess is telling you that she's happy you came, but you can't beat Sardius without the bracelet, so now you have to go back and get it.
So are the stage hazards going to get even worse now, or are they going to stay the same since it's professional?
So professional difficulty stayed the same. Like, the way it works behind the scenes is it ups the difficulty level for Loop 2, but since professional is the highest, it's not going to change. It's just going to stay on professional.
So you're like doing like, yeah, hardest difficulty both loops essentially. So yeah, you do gotta run through the game again. It's the G&G standard. The series did originate in the arcades, and that was a pretty big arcade staple mechanic, is playing through games twice or infinitely. That's kind of where the whole playing through the game twice comes from. It's an arcade. It's an idea of a lot of arcade games. A lot of arcade games will actually end on the second loop. It's called a 2-all, what people actually call it. So he's going for essentially a 2-all clear here.
The one thing you'll notice is that the lag is a little bit increased on this loop. That's because I have a shield. The shield is one extra sprite that just contributes to the lag just a little bit more, and it's noticeable on that first level.
Yeah, nice skull patterns there. You can easily get denied on those skull patterns, and you have to wait.
Yeah, on professional difficulty, sometimes you have skull patterns that are just too fast to go under. You have to wait for them.
Yeah. And yeah, you'll see Sam trying to do a lot of the jumps in the run as well. Those do increase Earther's speed a little bit. The second jump, however, I think it's the same as his walking speed or slower.
Yeah, I think I've heard like 12% faster for single jumping.
It's fast enough that you probably want to try to fit those in anyways to save time throughout the run. And that's also somewhat of a series staple as well, starting in the second game. Because just so you know, the first game is Ghosts and Goblins Arcade, second game is Ghouls and Ghosts, which is actually on the Mega Drive. And then it's Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a sequel to that one, third game in the series, and then you have Ultimate on the PSP. Easy way to remember is just Ghosts, Ghouls, Super, then Ultimate. A lot of people get tripped up on the series naming scheme. Yeah, so the pendulums here, or yeah, the little axe pendulums, those do move faster in professional. One little thing.
It makes that damage boost a little bit more tricky, because you have to jump right away, and sometimes, like, if you time it just a little bit wrong, you get hit by the axe, or you don't land on the ship. In normal difficulty, you have more leeway because of the patterns.
Saved 4 seconds on that stage 1, that was nice.
Yeah, it's about half a second for my gold split. So I still have a lot of PV potential here. Like I did say I saved like a full minute. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good.
Or I suppose you should say 52 seconds due to some issues with my splits, but a lot of time yesterday when I was practicing Loop 2. So one of the things I want to avoid here is I want to avoid picking up these weapons. Now, since I avoided that first weapon, I'm not going to get any weapons for the rest of this level. That weapon's just going to kind of stay in play and prevent weapons from dropping from these fish. Instead, they're going to drop these 500 point statues.
Yeah, that's definitely good. So you don't have to worry about getting screwed over by a weapon being on top of you when the wave is coming up or anything. Yeah, basically the slowdown reduction strats here are just picking up all the items, destroying all the barriers as soon as possible, basically before they even come on screen, as well as the enemies, but it's a little bit riskier to do that, so I think Sam's is taking it a little bit safer here. It's only like a 1 or 2 second time save if you optimize this. It might even be a little bit more, but not a very high level SMG player will pretty much hug the right of the screen here.
And like
everything.
Like, all positioning matters too. Like, I think in avoiding that axe, I compromised my positioning a little bit, so I couldn't approach it quite perfectly. But yeah, like during that section there, I'll want to hug the right side of the screen and just mash daggers. If you can mash fast enough, you can usually, like, just mash daggers and kill everything in front of you on the right of the screen. This part here, though, is not so laggy. There's not a lot of stuff on screen at once.
Yeah, then upcoming at this boss, well, in professional, the bosses actually have a little bit more HP, just like 1 or 2 more. But it does make this quick kill, this one in particular, a little bit more tight, because it's pretty tight on the damage that you need to get 2 magics and also the dagger kill. But Sam did it last time, do it again, I'm sure. Here he comes. He knows when to release it because the waves are pretty much always coming up and down at the same time. You got it.
Okay. I actually saved a few seconds off my PB there because I screwed up that quick kill on my PB.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, damn. Trying to get under Arthur there. He tried. Yeah, then Sam intentionally loses the shield here. That's, wow, that jump was cool. To reduce lag, and it does make it actually does make a difference, because that's going to affect the whole rest of the stage, and there's some more slowdown that happens on the tower section, so it's actually, I don't know how many seconds it saves altogether, but it's pretty nice.
So this is one of the places where it like matters that these woos, or these fuzzy bears shoot further. That last fire I could usually jump over. On professional difficulty though, it's real difficult to jump over it.
Yeah, that looks like you just couldn't at all.
It's possible, it's just real difficult.
Dang. Yeah, Arthur, his hitbox is actually pretty, it seems like it's pretty wide in this game, so the platforming is, you can really get on the edge of some of those platforms. You can see that on the lava platforms there.
These bats are giving me some fun angles.
Yeah, that was kind of tricky. They can easily surprise you. Just really gotta kind of stay on guard here, and hopefully you're not jumping such a way to get a weird angle. Daggers on these statues. You can actually also jump over these statues, but I've always been too afraid to do that.
Oh, do you want to talk about boosted daggers? They can die in one boosted dagger, the statues.
Oh yeah. So like the game has a mechanic where after you do your double jump, your weapon will actually like flash rainbow colors. Yeah, for a brief period, for like a little bit of time after the double jump. That's a powered up attack. So Sam's referring to the powered up dagger there, getting those in 1 hit instead of 2. That's actually been used already a couple times throughout the run on the balloon pods in stage 1. You can get a 1-hit kill on those. And that's pretty nice just for maintaining speed in some parts.
Have a fun little quick kill here. I think we saw it last time, but... Oh.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I see. You didn't quite get it, but still good. Still
pretty good.
That's only like 4 seconds there. Yeah, I mean, Sam's going for that PB.
Oh,
so I got plenty of oh boy.
So what I was trying to do there, was avoid the genie. Like if you jump in there at the wrong time, you're gonna get this genie pattern where it's like just kind of comes up from under you, and you can't really do anything about it. So
yeah, that's exactly what happened there.
Oh, I died on the fireball. Well, don't have PB potential anymore, but it's still a decent run. So yeah, I'll finish it off.
Yeah, this is it's a significant enough time loss for no PB, I guess, but not, it's not one of the biggest time losses, I'd say. So, still got a pretty good pace here. kind of easy to short that jump that Sam did back there.
Well, I had to because, like, the genie was giving me trouble. Like, it's hard to avoid some of those genies at that point. So I'm going to pick up the upgraded dagger here. This is going to help me against the boss of this level, and it's going to help me in stage 5. Alright, I didn't get the Troll Genie this time. Although level 4 is just my kryptonite.
Yeah. It can be pretty rough sometimes. Yeah, then on professional, like these like geysers here, they also last longer than on normal difficulty. So if you're trying professional for the first time, you're probably gonna get surprised by them and get knocked down.
After you've practiced it enough, the geysers aren't so bad because like they spawn based on how close you are. So if you can get them to spawn on your terms, you can get favorable geysers.
Yeah. That's exactly what Sam's doing there. Spawning a lot of them early. Anyway, we'll see the boss go down a lot faster, given that the Hydra heads are in a good position.
That was a little bit faster. Like, I didn't have a good Hydra pattern that time. I had an amazing Hydra pattern last time, so that kind of made up for it a little bit.
So yeah, round 2 with the flowers. So again, like they kind of have their projectiles coming out somewhat randomly, and then also it's kind of random if you spawn this flower after the second woo bear, and if it attacks you as you're jumping across. Actually, stop. Sam almost hit from that last time. Now he's getting a much more favorable pattern that actually was pretty speedy there. Very nice. Yeah, that was actually pretty nice there. Probably fairly optimal, I'd say. On icicles.
So I can jump over the second shieldman there. However, the danger in that is in case there's an icicle that I land on afterwards.
Yeah, then you can actually despawn the knights as well if you leave so many icicles on screen at a certain time.
That's difficult to do on purpose.
Kind of hard to do.
Sometimes it happens as a matter of course, and you just take it when it comes.
You got hit there, I didn't notice actually.
Yeah, I got hit by the armor.
Oh, okay.
He did a fast swoop. Usually I like to kill him with magic.
Yeah, oh yeah, you have it over there. Yeah, with the woo bears there, you tend to, like, if you just hit them constantly with daggers, you're actually hit stunning them, which locks out their attack. If you leave too much of a gap in your attacks, they can get like a flame. I guess it's an ice breath though.
Oh, I didn't have to do that extra jump forward. I'm gonna have to come back for the key.
Oop.
That's okay.
It's not bad. It's like
I mean, you know.
So there is a trick I can use to kill these armors, both of these, with the same dragon magic. And like every time you use dragon magic, you kind of just stand there for a second or two. However, on professional difficulty, they don't cooperate as much.
Oh, really? The armors are like more aggressive, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure about that.
I don't like have any science to back that up, but like, it definitely seems harder.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. Those armors are jerks. Yeah, the origin of the red armor, the reason they're called armor is because there was a guy in Capcom, his last name was Arimo or something like that. And he, I guess the enemy, they created the enemy, and they thought that the guy Arimo looked like the red armor. So they just named it after just a guy at Capcom that looked like the enemy. So that's like the origin of the red armor name.
Yeah, a guy who looks like an armor.
Yeah, it's kind of.
That must be unfortunate.
It must be the face, right? Probably has very defined facial features, like probably like the thick eyebrow. But anyway, Sam's he's got the Goddess Bracelet, the weapon you need to finish the game. On this boss, the boss here in particular. If you don't have it here, you're getting sent back to the previous stage. And
this boss is like the hardest part of the game.
Yeah. Casual players always struggle for hours upon maybe even days trying to figure out how to beat this boss with this weapon. One of the big tricks to beating him is understanding that you can actually stop Astaroth's movement here by crouching, and that will allow you to kind of close the space on him and get better damage, because the damage is proximity based on the Goddess Bracelet. Ooh, that was a tough hit.
So yeah, I kind of screwed up. So this guy is actually, I think he's a little bit more difficult on the speedrun, particularly on pro mode, because your goal is to prevent him from chasing you off the ledge, because you lose a lot of time when he does that. So adds a little bit more. It adds an extra dimension to the fight. And look how aggressive he is.
Yeah, he really goes ham with the attacks. Oh! I was a little close in the flame. Burned the hairs off of Arthur's feet there.
And as you see, like, even when it looks like his flame is on the top ledge, you get some rogue ones coming off there. You always have to watch out for that.
Yeah, it's... I think all the runners have been probably killed that way, at least once.
Alright, there he goes. I lost like 40 seconds due to just the fact that I got hit.
Yeah, it's because the damage is just minuscule at the very end, at the very tapered part of the bracelet from a distance. You're talking like 1 HP versus like 12 or something. Well, it's just a very tiny amount of damage versus big damage up close. Big difference there. Yeah, 40 seconds. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, last boss here. The laser and the platform timing is random, so you get different combos of the laser and the platforms.
Well, it's not totally random. There are like 6 different things you can do.
Yeah, like different timings. Anyway, 3-cycle kill, pretty good.
And I got the power slide. Oh, we're done.
Oh god, the slide. Perfect slide finish.
So
that just brings it back.
So that's like what, a 3730 SDA timing? I don't know when they started their timer. They're probably 3738.
Oh, should we? Sorry, I didn't hear time.
Yeah, time.
Stop it.
You got time.
Okay.
When I started the power slide was time.
Yeah, we can look back at the recording to get the exact time. Sorry about that.
This would have been the world record less than a year ago.
Yeah, so 37:30 was the actual time there. Yeah, good run, Sam. That was pretty fun to watch. Good one, man. That was fun to comment. Just that one big big mistake. Really, that was it. And then there's some little things.
Well, there was a big time loss in loop 1, like a 30-40 second time loss. And then Loop 2 had, like, it actually had, like, the 40 seconds on Nebiroth, and it also had the death in loops in level 4. So there were 3 different places where that went wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Still a very good, pretty respectable time, I say.
So if we leave the credits open for just a little bit longer, we're going to get a nice little Easter egg due to the fact that I changed my control scheme. So like you might notice that Arthur's
Easter
not
egg.
doing
more like they didn't play test it.
Yeah, but oh, they might have play tested it a little bit, not all the way to the credits though, of course. But you might notice how Arthur's not doing anything interesting, like he's just kind of randomly shooting. That's because the way they program these credits, they're just like giving him input commands. So like usually he'd be jumping around and stuff, but since I changed the controls, it doesn't know what to do. So it just kind of walks off the edge there, and we die. So you can die in the credits.
Yeah, I love how it goes back to the overworld map. It's like,
I think I saw PJ get a game over from that. Although I think he was playing with only 1 life. So I think that has to be...
Oh, I want to see that. That sounds great. Gaming over. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point. You've already beat the game, right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And unfortunately, that despawns the music. Like, it starts the level starting music, and it never really starts up the credits music again.
Yeah, that kind of tells me that they didn't really catch this when they put the game out. Otherwise, they probably would try to get the music back in. Maybe left the death in still, or just fixed it entirely. I'm sure it would have been an easy fix.
Oh, I did miss a donation an hour ago by Sale Naha, $20. No comment on it, so thanks for that 20.
But yeah.
And thank you, the run was very entertaining. Thanks for doing this for us.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me on your marathon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We can let the credits roll a little bit. We're still ahead on time here.
All right, pretty cool. And you see, like, other problems with the credits. Like, this is the Asteros credit. He's not even on screen. Or Nebiroth credits. Not even on screen.
Yeah, this ending takes a while. It's like 8 or 10 minutes altogether or something. But the first time you beat the game, like, you really bask in it is the thing.
Yeah, it's a good reward for beating the game. It's a really difficult game. Like, infamously hard, so when you get this ending, it's quite an accomplishment. And as you can see here in the credits, the Red Aramer Ace comes after Thardius. So they knew that the Red Aramer was the most difficult enemy in the game, including bosses. Except for maybe the bracelet fight.
Man, I never noticed that before. That's interesting. It's like a tribute almost. And the princess's measurements because Capcom's perverted, token.
Oh, it's a
they have them in
into that stuff up there.
They have them in the Ghouls and Ghosts, and then also Super. They're not in the original game or Ultimate, however. I don't know if it's the fact that they're Japanese. I think it's just they're just perverted.
I suppose that could be the case.
Well, the idol culture in Japan is a thing. That's probably where that actually stems from.
All right, looks like the next runners are pretty prepped here, so we're gonna cut over to intermission. Thank you very much, everyone, for doing commentary.